So if you decide to do imaging, make sure that you study. And like I said, the best way to study is to look through the chapter or the practice exams. I have some practice exams you could look at. Like I said, the chapter does do a good job of showing you some sample problems like the ray diagrams for different types of lenses, um, focal points, how to draw the different ray diagrams of multiple lenses, and mirrors. Uh, so you can kind of look through. It also kind of breaks down the different topics too in order. So like topic 11.1 is Introduction to Imaging. That's like the general ray diagrams. Topic 11.2. Where are you? Let's focus now. Ha ha ha. Pun. Ooh, here's an eye. That usually do a lot of stuff with a lot of eyes too. Did I miss it? I think I did. Because I think the second part is about eyes. Yes, I believe I did miss it. No, okay, sorry. Topic 11.2. Yeah, so topic 11.1 is very detailed. We do cover that one. 11.2 is imaging instrumentation. So microscopes, telescopes, basically applications of it. I think, like I said, the scanning electron microscope comes up. Hubble telescope comes up. Fiber optics, we go over into depth in that one. They give you some different examples of that, like total internal reflection. To talk about that, and then medical imaging. That's the only topic in here we don't cover. I have covered it in the past, but in most years I don't get to it. Talk about X-rays, NMRs, things like that, but and like how it affects muscle and bone tissue. More of like the medical side of things. I think maybe they cover this a little bit in chemistry and biology, but not everybody's taking those classes, so it's up to you to kind of look through this section of the paper, and then they look through the practice questions at the end, see what you can handle, and then paper or the astrophysics option. Like I said, you only have to do one of the options. The first part is stellar quantities, 12.1. A lot of luminosity stuff, a lot of like distances to stars, calculating distances with different angles, geometry concepts, and then luminosity surface area, pi r squared, 4 pi r squared, brightness, that's just the power equation, intensity equation, things that we cover in thermo. So it's just the black body radiation spectrum, stuff that we cover in thermodynamics, spectral lines, things that we cover a little bit in particle physics, HR diagrams, which is just a way to represent temperature versus luminosity. We do cover both these topics, just never really use it as a HR diagram. They ask a lot of stuff about HR diagrams. So a lot of stuff, 12.3, stellar evolution, like the lifespan of stars. Astrophysics, we cover bits and pieces of it here and there when it comes up, but we don't really go into super in depth about, oh, let's focus on astrophysics. But we do cover it in enough detail that some students do end up testing in it, because they were weak in the mechanics section or they were weak in the optics section. And so this is the section that they remember the most about. I would say in the past, 60 to 70% of the students end up testing in engineering, and then 20 to 30% in imaging, and then I think I've had like 1 or 2 students test in astrophysics in the past. And it really varies on how well they do. It's just how well you prepare. If you prepare, it's going to be an easy test. If you don't, it's going to be a hard test. But it's going to be as hard as paper 2, because IB is tough, and they want you to know a lot of different concepts about it. So anyway, so I think everybody has the potential to do well in this class, and I think that one of the big things is just being very familiar with this formula packet, getting used to it, knowing where the stuff is, understanding the difference between how it's broken down, like standard level is the beginning, then it goes into the higher level stuff, and it goes into the options, and then like how I categorize topics and how IB categorizes topics. A lot of it's the same, but there are some differences. So if you are planning on testing, make sure that you come to the review sessions practice the questions, ask questions about the formula packet, get used to the formula packet, where stuff is, and look at the practice questions that I give you, work through those, and then also, if you haven't yet, a good resource on the Physics MC website is right here. Like I put in, and I even color coded these different IB questions about different topics. So like mechanics, if you click on this, there's like a bunch of mechanics questions here. They're all about mechanics. These are pressed IB questions, like the last 5 or 6 years of IB test questions about mechanics, just about mechanics. And I think I have like 1, 2, 3 of them because I can only fit 20 onto a page. So there's 20, 40, 60 mechanics questions. Light and sound waves. That's like the entry level optics stuff. Mechanical waves. That's like the simple harmonic motion stuff. Circular motion. Let's just see magnetism. So it's all color coded too. I have a few more particle physics in here than typical, because in the last few exams they've really emphasized particle physics. But it's really just, so I wanted to give you lots of examples of those. And I even have like the options, like here's the astrophysics option, here's the astrophysics answers, here's the imaging option, here's the imaging answers somewhere. Oh, imaging answer key, imaging option, um, engineering physics, engineering answer key. So it tells you like, here's a sample paper 1, sample paper 2, this is multiple choice, short answer. This is paper 3 with the answer key. So look through these. I think when the test comes, I'm going to start assigning some of these, but we won't have enough time to go through them all. Pick the topics that you're the weakest in and focus on those. A lot of students seem to struggle with, let's just say, magnetism. Some students really do well in those, but at the end of the year, we don't have a lot of time to review, and that's the one that's the farthest in our mind because we covered that in IB1 and very little bit of it in IB2 is this review. So we cover waves and thermal mechanics pretty well, and circular motion pretty well, and particle physics is pretty fresh in our minds at that point. But electricity magnetism looks through that one. Circular motion is typically pretty tough. Particle physics, those questions are going to be pretty tough. Um, so yeah, pick your poison, and the more you study, the better you're going to do. I encourage you guys to do well. I think you all can do well on it. I think you all can get good scores in this test, and it's going to help you guys get more college credit. It makes me look better as a teacher, um, and you know, I just think you guys have the potential to do well. So anyway, uh, use this to your advantage, and hopefully these videos have been helpful to help you kind of get an idea for what the test is about. Till next time, this is the Physics MC.